Well, here we are. I mean, give or take, about a year ago, I did my first one of these WWE Network events covering the Royal Rumble for 2015, and now here we are at 2016. We got a new intro. So let's get ready to roll on this. Starting things off, we are a kickoff match. It's the Royal Rumble 2016, obviously. Anyway, our kickoff match, which is the Fatal 4-Way between the Dudleys, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger, The Ascension, and Darren Young and Damien Sandow. The winning team getting 2 spots in the Rumble. Starting things off, there was Darren Young and Jack Swagger. Then Sandow and Henry came in. Then Connor tagged in, and there was a big schmoz. They went to a commercial break. Bubba hit a it wasn't a bubble bomb, it was an Uranagi slam on Victor for a 2 count. The Dudleys then hit a 3D on Victor, but then Swagger broke up the pin by pulling Bubba Ray Dudley and locking him in the Patriot Lock while Swagger was outside the ring. This enabled Mark Henry to hit a big splash on Bubba, and then he turned around and covered Victor for the 3 count and the win. So Mark Henry and Jack Swagger both got spots in the Rumble. And we'll touch on that when we get to the Rumble itself. Alright, after that we have the last man standing match for the Intercontinental Championship. And right here, all the matches except for that kickoff match were title matches. I don't think that's happened before in a Rumble or any other event. Anyway, it's Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose, last man standing for the Intercontinental Championship. Early on, Ambrose managed to get Owens into the corner and started biting him. Ambrose then hit a big suicide dive, and it knocked Owens over the announce table and into Michael Cole. Knocked over his chair and everything. Like, I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think Cole accidentally got caught in the crossfire a bit. So much so that they broke Michael Cole's glasses. He had trouble reading a lot of his notes and stuff like that for his cues. He actually, at one point, turned to, I can't remember if it was Byron Saxton or JBL. Yeah, Jerry Lawler wasn't calling this one for some reason. They switched him with Byron Saxton. Anyway, sorry. And like I said, Michael Cole broke his glasses at one point. I think he turned to, I want to say it was JBL, and so he said, John, you might have to read some of my notes for me because I can't, my glasses are broken. So, yeah, anyway, Ambrose then got out a kendo stick and started beating Owens with it. Owens then hit a cannonball dive into the ring barricade. Owens then began beating Ambrose with a chair. Ambrose then back body dropped Owens onto 2 chairs. Owens then threw Ambrose into the ring steps. At this point, Owens went into the corner, one of the ring corners. He set up 2 tables outside the ring, basically on top of each other like this. And then he tried to superplex Ambrose out of the ring and through the chairs. But Ambrose managed to fight out of it and threw a chair into Owens' face. Ambrose then hit the Dirty Deeds on a chair, and Owens only barely beat the 9 count. Ambrose then hit an elbow drop through another table that was set up outside the ring. And then Owens hit his Death Valley driver through the top rope, through a table, off the top rope, through a table. Ambrose barely beat the 10 count. Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb. Ambrose again only beat the 10 count. Owens then went for his springboard moonsault as Ambrose was perched on some chairs. I don't really have a way to demonstrate that. He went for his springboard moonsault, but Ambrose immediately got up off the chairs, got Owens, and tossed him over the top rope and into the two corner, because this was set up in the corner with the tables. Over the top rope, over the turnbuckle, and into those tables. And Owens could not beat the 10 count. He was completely out of it. And so Dean Ambrose retains the Intercontinental Championship. Excuse me. After that, we have the match for the WWE Tag Team Championship, The New Day versus the Usos. At first, only Kofi and Big E came out, and they held a moment of silence for Francesca, Xavier's trombone. And that was immediately interrupted by Xavier Woods playing a new trombone, which was dubbed Francesca 2. This was a pretty nondescript match. Early on, Jey Uso dropped Big E into the ring barricade. We just had a spot like that in the previous match. I don't know why they did that again. However, Xavier Woods responded by hitting a tornado DDT on Jey on the outside of the ring. Kofi then countered a super kick into an SDF, and then Big E hit a big splash. Jey spin kicked Kofi off of the ring apron. At that point, Jey managed to get the tag to Jimmy. Jimmy hit a corkscrew moonsault for a 2 count. Big E speared Jimmy through the ropes. Jey got back into the match. Jey hit a top rope splash on Kofi. Kofi had his foot under the ropes. Jey went for another big splash on Kofi, but Big E caught Jey out of the air and hit him with the big ending for the 3 count. And the New Day retain. Yeah, sorry, you might hear some background noise. They're cutting a couple trees down in the neighbor's yard back there, so I don't know how well that's going to come through on this. Anyway, our next match is for the United States Championship. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio. Early on, Del Rio just dominated the match. He whipped Kalisto into the corner. Kalisto did get a quick suicide dive. Del Rio then hit his top rope enziguri for a 2. Del Rio tossed Kalisto under the bottom rope. He basically tossed it, and Kalisto skidded right out onto the floor below. Let's see. Del Rio then tried to remove Kalisto's mask. Kalisto hit a second rope DDT for a 2 count. Del Rio hit a big reverse superplex. Kalisto hit a Selena del Sol, but Del Rio just managed to get his arm on the ropes. And then Del Rio went for his double stomp finisher in the corner, but Kalisto countered that. Del Rio went to one of the turnbuckles. He exposed the turnbuckle pad. He tried to throw Kalisto into it. Kalisto jumped up onto the second rope, jumped behind Del Rio, pushed Del Rio into the exposed turnbuckle pad. Kalisto then hit the Selena del Sol for the 3 count. Your new United States champion, Kalisto. After that, we have the WWE Divas Championship match. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Early on, Becky Lynch kind of took a bit of a technical approach, a lot of waist lock takedowns, a couple suplexes, went for a disarmer finisher, but Charlotte managed to counter one of them into an armbar of her own. Becky kicked Charlotte off of the ring apron. She was going after Charlotte. She tried to taunt Ric Flair. Flair basically grabbed Becky and kissed her on the lips. That distracted her enough for Charlotte to get Becky back into the ring and hit a T-bone suplex for a 2 count. Charlotte then locked Becky into a head scissors. Becky managed to eventually counter into an electric chair drop. Becky hit a couple pump handle suplexes for 2 counts. Becky went into a cross arm breaker. Charlotte, there was a scene where Flair got up on the ring apron and started arguing. Becky turned to argue back with him. Charlotte went for a baseball slide, and she inadvertently kicked Ric Flair down to the... Well, actually, Flair by that point had dropped off of the ring apron, but... Yeah, sorry. And that enabled Becky to lock on the disarmer, but then Flair got back up on the ring apron and threw his sport coat over Becky's head, and this distracted Becky enough for Charlotte to hit Becky with a spear and get the 3 count. Charlotte retains. After that, Charlotte began beating on Becky. That is until Sasha Banks' music hits. Sasha Banks goes down to the ring, kind of looks at Charlotte, looks at Becky, kicks Becky out of the ring, turns around, basically points at Charlotte's Divas belt. Charlotte and Sasha do the old BFF high five. And then Sasha, they start to exit, but then Sasha grabs Charlotte, hits her with the Banks statement, and it says, "I'm next for the title." And so obviously we're building to that program, probably for Mania. And that leads us into the main event, the Royal Rumble for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously Roman Reigns was the first one in. He's the champion. You know, which actually made sense to me. I'm surprised they didn't do that earlier. No, they saved that for like a week before. Like I said, it made more sense to have him be first anyway. He's the champion. Why would you give him any sort of advantage by putting him in the middle of the pack where he could be rested? Anyway, second out was Rusev, and he actually was eliminated before the number 3 entrant came out. Who was the number 3 entrant? The phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Which was spoiled for me because I idiotically went onto Facebook at like 9:15 and it was revealed then. Anyway. And then Tyler Breeze came out number 4. He was almost immediately eliminated by Reigns and Styles. Curtis Axel came out. He was eliminated by Styles. Then Chris Jericho came out. Then Kane came out. Then Goldust came out. Then Ryback came out. Then Kofi Kingston came out. Then Titus O'Neil came out. O'Neil eliminated Goldust. Then R-Truth came out and for some reason thought he was in a ladder match and set the ladder up in the ring, climbed the ladder, looked up for the belt, didn't know what the heck was going on. Kane grabbed R-Truth and threw him over the top ropes. Then came Luke Harper. And as Harper was in the ring, the League of Nations came out and attacked Reigns, but they didn't eliminate him. They just pulled him out from under the bottom rope. After that, Stardust came out. The League of Nations was still beating down Roman Reigns, so much so that they missed an elimination. Kofi Kingston was eliminated by Chris Jericho. Good move there, guys. Like, just beat him up and then have the elimination. Anyway, 15th was the Big Show. The Big Show immediately came in and eliminated Titus O'Neil and Ryback. Then Neville came in, and then Braun Strowman came in. Strowman immediately eliminated Kane and then immediately eliminated the Big Show. A bit of a surprise there. Then, at 18th, Kevin Owens came out, and Kevin Owens immediately eliminates AJ Styles. Crowd pop pretty big for AJ, obviously. You know, well, he was a big TNA guy. TNA was sort of based out of Orlando. That's where they ran all their TV shows and their pay-per-views for so many years, so that makes sense. Anyway, then came Dean Ambrose. Ambrose and Owens fought. And then came number 20, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn came out and immediately eliminated Kevin Owens. Wonder how that's going to turn out. After that, Eric Rowan came into the ring. Rowan and Harper eliminated Neville and Stardust. At that point, Mark Henry came into the ring, and he was immediately eliminated by the Wyatt family. And then Braun Strowman eliminated Sami Zayn. Then Brock Lesnar came in at number 23. Lesnar immediately eliminated Rowan. And then number 24, Jack Swagger came out, and he was immediately eliminated by Brock Lesnar. And this is where I have my beef with this. That match, okay, you want to earn guys to get in the ring. Obviously, I wasn't expecting Henry or Swagger to go in the Rumble, or even to last long in the Rumble. But if you're just going to use them as cannon fodder, why not send them out like 5th or 6th? Why send them out 22nd and 24th? That could have been saved for, you know, again, maybe another Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or something, where it wouldn't be that quick an elimination. Anyway, the 25th entrant was Miz, but Miz did not enter the Royal Rumble entirely. He just stood at the commentary table and talked for a while, as Lesnar eliminated Harper. Then Alberto Del Rio came out at 26th. Lesnar eliminated Strowman. Then Bray Wyatt came out in 27th. And the Wyatt family immediately jumped Brock Lesnar and beat him up. Lesnar fought him off for a bit, but then the family came back and got him a couple more times and eliminated Brock Lesnar. At which point, the number 28th entrant came in. It was Dolph Ziggler. It was about that time that Miz entered the match. And then the 29th entry came out. It was Sheamus. But before Sheamus could get in the ring, he was jumped by Reigns. Reigns then ran out of the ring and eliminated Miz. And then the number 30th entrant came in. No shock here, as this was a known secret. Triple H was going to be the 30th entrant. Immediately, Triple H eliminated Ziggler. Then Sheamus and Triple H eliminated Bray Wyatt. Ambrose eliminated Chris Jericho, which left our final four: Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and Triple H. Reigns eliminated Sheamus, and then immediately Triple H came in and eliminated Reigns. That left Dean Ambrose and Triple H left. Ambrose and Triple H fought for a bit. They got near the ropes. Triple H went for a pedigree. Ambrose countered. He throws Triple H just over the ropes, but Triple H catches himself just before he falls. Ambrose knocks Triple H once. Triple H is just barely hanging on, barely hanging on. Ambrose goes for kind of this rebound clothesline, but it's too much. But it goes a little too hard, and Triple H is able to duck down, pull the top rope, and eliminate Dean Ambrose, your new World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H, which means we're going to have Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania 32. Not exactly a dream match. I don't mind the idea of having a match, but, you know, maybe Reigns can win the title back at Fastlane. I don't want to see Triple H as champion at Mania. Like, he hasn't really wrestled competitively. He's probably going to pull his quad going down to the ring again. Like I said, the fact that I will say this in the pay-per-view's defense. The fact that these were all title matches, most of them were of substantial length. They kept saying, like, one of them was going to get shorted. I thought the Divas match was going to be shorted. I think it was the shortest match, that or the U.S. title. But they managed to pack enough into that time frame that it didn't feel like it was that horrendous. So there's that. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do for Fastlane exactly. Probably put Reigns in a match where he has to win his #1 contendership. Like I said, I don't mind the idea of doing but in that case, give Lesnar the belt, give Bray Wyatt the belt, give Kevin Owens the belt, give someone else the belt, and just have an ordinary match between Triple H and Reigns. Exactly. Or just have Reigns retain the title and then still feud with it. Maybe Triple H costs Reigns at Fastlane, and that leads into just not a world title match. But, like I said, that was kind of the writing on the wall that they had to build that. I know most of the roster is injured and everything that involved there, but okay. I'm rambling at this point. Overall, I'd say the show is probably... I'm going to go a C. I can't really go too high for a B. That main event really soured in my mouth, but other than that, it was fine. Let's see. Well, there'll be a new Whimsical Adventures of Great Aunt Peggy up Saturday, and then after that is the Batman Hush review for the Random Trade review. See you all next time.